Hey, what's up, guys? It's Nick here from Bitcoin Magazine, and today I have a very special video coming with for you guys. This is my guest today is my good friend Justifer. He joins me a lot on Bitcoin Kindergartens on Thursday. Justifer, say what's up.
Hey everybody, thanks for coming to join this class. We're going to go over some pretty important stuff. I think some fundamental pieces of being a Bitcoiner. And most of that is just saving your Bitcoin, holding your own keys. And I think this tutorial takes it a little step further in ensuring that you have a cold storage solution for secure long-term storage of Bitcoin.
Yeah, not everyone is in a position to afford, an expensive cold card or Trezor. So if you have a USB drive just laying around at home, this could be a great solution. And it's awesome because, this is open source and literally anyone and everyone can do it.
That's a great point. I've been contacted a whole bunch about, is this a good hardware device? When the answer might be, you can use open source software and learn a bit along the way and create your cold storage solution. So with that, this method uses some good practices, but with anything in Bitcoin, don't trust, verify, and this shouldn't be too difficult to verify because we're using open source software and our own hardware.
So before we get started, we want to both give a quick shout out to Bit Consultants for putting this presentation together and giving us permission to use it.
Yeah, huge shout out to Bit Consultants. Make a great follow on Twitter at Bit Consultants.
And we'll put his Twitter link in the show notes below.
Thank you.
But without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, so as far as materials wise, we'll be using for hardware, desktop or laptop, 64-bit, USB flash drive. It needs to be at least 8 gigabytes, and a little bit more, shouldn't cost too much more, and a pen and paper. And then for software, we'll be using Tails operating system, which you can download from tails.bohm.org/install. We'll use Belina Etcher to take the Tails image and etch it onto our USB flash drive. And we'll use Quick Hash to verify our Tails download to make sure that there was no malicious code added to it that the developers didn't intend, and that's making sure that we don't have any code that we don't want in Tails. So first step is go to the Tails website, and we'll be downloading the one for USB sticks. This is a large download, so be sure to plan ahead and, make yourself, some food or something while this is downloading.
I think someone said it might take around 30 minutes, or I think someone did it and it took around 30 minutes, so.
Totally.
Yeah.
So once that's downloaded, we'll open up Quick Hash and verify that file. And I'll just go ahead and do this. So opening up Quick Hash. And you can use any checks or hash verifying software. The only reason that this was chosen was because it's cross-platform. So here I have my Tails download, the version 4.8. And for this algorithm, I'll just go down and select SHA-256. And we'll be able to drag this file over. It switches over the File tab, and it's starting to run this hash. The answer should pop here, which is the result of running the SHA-256 hashing algorithm on our file. And what we do is we find what the checksum should be for Tails. So I'll just do a quick search. We can do a little DuckDuckGo, but I'll just do Tails SHA-256 hash. Oh, that wasn't DuckDuckGo at all. Whatever. Well, we're here now. So verifying, Tails has this special page just for verifying a Tails image for reproducibility. A lot of people use PGP, which is a great way to verify that. And then the alternate is we can verify the checksum. And this says compare the SHA-256 checksum of your images with the ones found in the official image description file. And so I'll open up that image description file, and I see here the SHA-256 result for our 4.8 version of Tails. So I'm just going to copy this, and I'll switch over to Quick Hash. It's already completed, and already I can start to see that the SHA-256 hash on the website is already matching what we have here in the file. So I'm just going to paste it here, and I get a pop-up that says expected hash matches the computed file hash.
Do you want to quickly explain to the viewers why it's important to do this?
Sure. We really want to make sure that we know exactly what we're installing. And so after we've looked at the source code, understand the Tails project a little bit to create an operating system from a USB drive, we're going to be verifying that all the code that was packed into this image file is what was officially packaged by the Tails organization. And so since this the SHA hash, the secure hashing algorithm, works really well, it comes out with a seemingly random output for a given input, but if you put the same input in twice, you should get the same result out twice. And any change, if you even change a single character in this image file, it will come out with a completely different hash value, and you'll be able to immediately recognize that this was not verified, and it has changes that aren't supposed to be there. And so if you come up with a hash that doesn't match, definitely report that so others that didn't take this step for security are able to know that, hey, there might be a problem with this file that is hosted on the website. Any questions so far on that?
No, we're good to go to the next step.
Okay. So now we've verified our image file. Here's a screenshot of some old versions. The next step is to take our Tails image and flash it onto a USB. So we can use Balena Etcher, and this step also takes a while, so I'm not going to be demonstrating this part, but it's a pretty user-friendly piece of software. Select the image, select the drive that you want to flash, which is going to be our USB drive, and complete the flashing operation.
If you followed along in my how to turn a Casanode video into a MyNode, this is exactly what we used. And yeah, it's super simple. Just click the image, click the drive, hit flash, and it does everything for you. So you don't have to do anything complicated.
Nice. I think one of these final steps here, just to get our Tails going, is to actually launch into the boot menu. And this is something that you might need some help with. You might have to do a little research on things about your machine. But basically what we're doing is we're shutting down our computer, and we're telling our computer to boot from the USB drive instead of booting from the hard disk, which might be compromised on our computer. So shutting down the computer, we've got our Tails USB plugged in, and then we're going to turn on the computer, pressing and holding the escape or the F12 key, which depends on the manufacturer's settings. It might be F8 for some computers. For Macs, hold down the Option key. And when that boot menu appears, select the TailsOS USB drive. And assuming we don't have Safe Boot on, which Nabismo mentioned, our computer should now boot into TailsOS. So now we've got a whole operating system that is Linux-based on our computer, and we'll be able to start up Tails, which by default forgets everything that you've done before and is built for security. So starting Tails, default settings, and it already has Electrum Bitcoin Wallet, which is a super powerful piece of software that allows you to make some really secure wallets. So applications and internet, and we'll get Electrum Bitcoin Wallet. But you should just take note of, in the top right corner, the internet should be turned off by default. And if you do decide to turn the internet on, it will route through Tor. But for this, we want it completely disconnected from the internet. This is cold storage, so nothing touching the internet. Once you open an Electrum wallet, you'll get a pop-up that says persistence is disabled for Electrum, which is great for our use case. Because when you reboot Tails, all of the data gets wiped from this operating system unless you change settings on purpose. So we don't want any record of us creating our private keys for our wallet. So this is great for us. So yes, we want to start Electrum anyway. We can create a wallet file name if we'd like, but here we're just going to write it down pen and paper, so we can skip this step. We'll create a standard wallet, but if you want to explore a little bit, you can also create a multi-signature wallet. In case just the basic security of a 12-word seed isn't enough for you, we can go multi-sig.
That's so awesome. Just the thought of being able to drive up to your local store, pick up, 3 to 5 USB drives for like, $10-20, and then just, make multiple multi-sig wallets and scatter them everywhere. It's the security of you can have on Bitcoin is insane. It makes me so bullish.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. And really, we can just write down the words. You don't really even need more USB drives. You can carry these words in your head. Anyway, so carrying on with the standard wallet, it'll give us an option between SegWit and Legacy. And I encourage you to learn more about this. But for our purposes, I'd recommend SegWit. And you'll save on fees later. So here's our private key, which is called a mnemonic phrase, and we've got 12 words. So definitely write this down, and pen and paper, unless you've got something that is even more durable than pen and paper or easy to hide, because we'll be writing down our private key, and this is the most important step. Write it down, keep it secret, keep it safe. You can create multiple copies if you'd like, but if anyone has access to these words, they have access to your Bitcoin and are able to spend it. So we're going to avoid other people being able to spend our money. That sounds a lot more like traditional banking than what we're doing here to be our own bank.
And make sure you write it down on pen and paper. Don't write it in the notes on your phone. Don't keep it on your desktop computer.
Exactly.
Keep it as far away from the internet as you possibly can.
Yeah. Let's go old school. Then once we've written it down, on the next screen, we'll be asked to confirm that we've entered it in, or that we've written it down. There's a password prompt, to encrypt your wallet keys, but we'll just be using the seed phrase, so we can skip right past this step. So now your wallet has been created, and you'll be able to see Electrum says not connected. So that tells us that we have created a cold wallet that has never touched the internet yet. And hopefully won't for a very long time. Next, we can navigate over to that Receive tab, and it can generate a static address, which we can use to continue to deposit Bitcoin into this cold storage wallet. But a more private solution would be to use the master public key. And if we have the master public key, we can generate many addresses, and we can also view all the balances in the wallet. So to get there, wallet information, and then we'll be able to see that ZPub master public key. And so this is something, if you view that QR code, you'll be able to scan this with your mobile wallet and be able to generate a new address for every time you'd like to receive Bitcoin and send it into your cold storage. So this is something that can, touch the internet in a limited capacity, because we do want to keep this information safe, because this tells us the balances, which we want to keep private. So yeah, scan this with your phone, and then you'll be able to generate addresses on the fly. So there's a couple of compatible wallets that are able to scan public keys like this. One is Electrum wallet, which is available for desktop or Android. Also Samurai Sentinel, and then for Apple, you can do Blue Wallet or Bit Wallet. And there might be more since this presentation was created, but definitely do your own research. In order to get that master public key to work, this next step is to generate a new wallet, but instead of creating a new seed, we'll just use the master public key that we scanned or wrote down earlier. We enter our master public key from our cold storage, and then we'll get a prompt that says that this wallet is watching only, which means that you can't spend Bitcoin from it, but you can deposit as much as you'd like and generate a new receive address each time. So the things to remember, you've written down your recovery seed. That private seed phrase allows you to spend the Bitcoin. Keep multiple copies of it hidden in safe places. And if you lose your seed, you lose your Bitcoins. We've also verified our TailsOS distribution, and we use Quick Hash to do that, but you could verify it a different way using OpenPGP or a different hash software. And we compare that hash with the hash on the Tails website. And that's it for this tutorial. But feel free to.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
So, let's say if you wanted to spend Bitcoin from your USB drive, how would you do that?
Yeah. So you can take your public or your private key that you wrote down and import it into kind of like a new instance of Electrum. So we can create a wallet. It would be a standard wallet, and we would enter I already have a seed. And that's where we would enter our private key into an internet connected device. This is like the most obvious way to do it for me, but there might be a different way to do it. So then our private key would be touching the internet. So we would now treat that wallet as a hot wallet instead of cold storage wallet.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Sure.
so. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this and spend your time with us teaching people how to make their own do-it-yourself cold storage wallet.
It's been my pleasure, and thanks so much for having me on. Don't forget to follow Bit Consultants on Twitter, because they put a lot of work into this presentation, and I've really appreciated it over the years, and I hope a lot of other people get to benefit from it.
Follow Justifer as well. Great Bitcoiner.
Thanks so much, Nick.
And yeah, follow Bitcoin Magazine. Go to bitcoinmagazine.com to stay up to date with all the latest news and events. And yeah, peace, guys.
Peace.